about how to find the right event for you and also how many events should you be doing. Okay, so in most states, I'm here in California, there's a set amount of events you can do. I just found out that in New Mexico, they're passing a rule that you can do 6 events. California here, you can only do 4 events. Many times, coaches that are old school, traditional coaches, I don't want to call them old school, but traditional coaches, the focus is to score the most amount of points, right? And if you're an athlete that is very athletic, very strong, very durable, that coach may or may not put you in multiple events to help you um, support the team as best as you can, right? So first thing is understanding yourself. Like, what events do you feel are best for you? Many times, athletes choose events that they feel that they're most comfortable with. That isn't the best situation, right? So for myself, like I knew I was never going to do the 400. I just was like, nope, never doing it. Why? Because I ran the 400 once and I got very winded, very tired, and I was like, I feel like I'm gonna die. So I said to myself, nope, I'm not doing it. And on top of that, I grew up having asthma. So I just was like, I'm not doing anything long distance. I'm running short distance. That was beneficial for me. However, the reasoning for me running shorter distances wasn't the best reason because I was essentially just scared to run long distance, right? You don't want to get scared because as you are learning events, some of your events are better for you that may be longer, right? I became a hurdler in high school, and I had no idea what hurdles were until I got to high school. Until my coach said, "Here, try this," right? So my biggest thing is, if you're in high school and have never ran track before, try all the events. See which one organically feels good, like genuinely feels like this feels fun to me. Right now, choosing events comes down to obviously one is going to be which ones are fun. The next one is which one has the least amount of resistance to better yourself and get the most experience. This is a secret that I do with my athletes. It's how do we get you to get the furthest you can in this sport and get the most experience, right? Um, so here's an example. I had an athlete, Rocco. Rocco was an eighth grader last year. Now he's a freshman. And he came to my team and he was like, I really want to do long jump. I want to be the best long jumper in the USA. And I was like, cool, let's do it. Right. So as he's training, I'm seeing that he has certain flaws that I got to work through. One of them was that he would slow down before he would long jump, which would be a detriment to the sport. However, he came from basketball. So he was used to running fast and then slowing down to either Euro step or change direction or lay the ball up for a layup. The problem with that is that it was not helping him at all in long jump. He would always slow down. He would always be off on his mark, his approach. And it was frustrating as a coach, right? And also seeing him as an athlete, he'd be so frustrated because he wasn't trying to slow down. He just had this subconscious habit that led to him creating lesser results. Now, he did improve, but it wasn't at the pace he needed to improve at. And it wasn't at the level that got him to, get further. Right. So the last few weeks of season, I said, we got to get you other events because we got to figure out if you don't jump a foot and a half further, which you can, but if you don't, what's going to happen? So I said, let's try you in high jump. Let's also try you in triple jump. I trained him safely to understand the sport, and he got the high jump, but he just didn't like it. Wasn't his thing. Right. Then he tried triple jump and he was a natural. And I said, okay, we're going to start you off slowly and get you to develop. We got to our championship meet and he long jumped and he just bombed. He just had a horrible meet. And I was like, okay, let's try triple jump. Let's put that in there. Let's go with that. Fast forward, he ended up improving. He made the next round regionals. He made it to nationals. And now he is a national qualifier going into high school. He now has that experience. Well, what was it that got him that opportunity? One, it was that he tried something new. He was open to it. Two is that he had these events that had less resistance. Triple jump is very hard to teach, and it takes a certain level of coordination. And I'm able to teach that at a very high level quickly. And he had that coordination, so it worked out, right? So he was able to make nationals. So now triple jump is a part of his experience, right? And he also knows that high jump is something that's there, but that he may be able to revisit later on. So, why am I saying this story? I'm saying this story because you get to try multiple events. He came onto the team saying, I want a long jump. However, in Southern California, where I live, it is the most populated sport, right? It's also the hardest um, region in America to perform at a very high level because there's so much talent here. There's so much talent. There's so much speed. There's so much jumping ability, et cetera, et cetera. More Olympians come out of this section, this region, than anywhere else in the United States. I don't know why, but let's just go with that, right? And the reason why he didn't make it in long jump was because not because he wasn't good, is because there were so many other athletes. I mean, 19, 20 feet was jumping 13, 14 for the guys, and it was just tough. So what I say to you is if you're in the Southern California region or anywhere else, look at how do I get the best experience? And if I do okay, does that get me to state championships or regional championships or whatever? You want to be at these big showcase meets. Okay, so now multiple events. There are events that work together and events that don't work together. For example, let's say you're a sprinter. Sprinter means you run the 100, the 200, the 400, the 4x1 relay, 4x2 if you have it, 4x4. Those events all work together, right? So now it comes down to which four are going to help you. Well, if you're running the 4x4 and you're running the 400, then you can easily run the 200 and the 100, right? Let's say you're a hurdler. You doing the 100 and 200 help out. If you're running the 300-meter hurdles, well, then running the 400 is going to work out, right? What if you're a sprinter and a jumper? Which ones work out? The long jump and any sprints work together. If you're doing high jump and triple jump, those events, you kind of want to figure out which one works best depending on your schedule, right? If you're doing hurdles and jumps, it's the same thing. It's on your schedule. For a high school track, you're looking at the 300-meter hurdles in California and triple jump happen at the exact same time. So would that benefit you if you're running back and forth, right? If you're a long jumper and you also do the 4x100-meter run, well, the issue there is that you're going to be doing the relay at the exact same time as long jump. So you're going to be losing some of these things, right? Also, if you're doing the triple jump and you also run the 400, well, you're going to be running the 400 right before your triple jump starts. Is that going to benefit you? The answer is no, right? So looking at your schedule of which events actually map out. Now, an important piece that I do want to share with you guys is I had an athlete, Dominique Rutolo. She's a senior at USC, Pac-12 champion her freshman year at Oregon, and just doing great things, right? She was a national qualifier, third as a junior in high school, just doing everything you could do, right? So her senior year, she's already jumping 41 feet 7 inches in triple jump. She's already cleared 5'8" in high jump, and 5'8" would have put her probably top three or top four in the state. She's already a 19.2 long jumper. So she's looking at being an all around jumper and podium for all three events, but technically should be the winner for triple jump. Well, triple jump was the exact same time as the high jump. We planned this out in September. We said, in come May, you're going to have two events at the exact same time. You can't do both at the same time. Which one do you choose to do? We're going to choose that now, right? She decided triple jump. We went through the rounds of our playoffs here, CIF, and we decided, okay, we're going to drop high jump after we do CIF championships, which is what she did high jump, and we won, and then we advanced from there, right? So knowing that, she knew that at state prelims, she would have had 3 jumps for a long jump, 3 jumps for triple jump, and also 3 to 4 jumps, excuse me, 4 jumps for high jump. That's in the prelim. Then at the finals, the very next day, she would have had up to 6 jumps in long jump, up to 6 jumps in triple jump while doing high jump at the same time. So because we got rid of high jump, now she can focus on long and triple jump together. Even though 12 jumps in the same day is a lot, and also 6 the day before, is a lot, right? But we trained for that. We prepared her for that. So where she did really well. She was able to make the podium for both, and she did really well. Okay. So I say that for you. As you are going through invitational track meets, there's 12, 15, 20 schools that are competing, and there's multiple heats of each event, which gives you time to rest if you're doing multiple events. However, at your state championships, guess what? There's not multiple heats. There's the guys run and the girls run. So if you're trying to do multiple events at state, you actually have less time to rest, to perform at your best ability. So it's very important that you talk to your coach or your club coach or a professional like myself to help you manage your actual season and saying, okay, if I want to do these 4 events, what does it look like at the state championship and how does it help me or hurt me at the state championships? Also, multiple rounds of the playoffs. Okay. If you're doing 4 events and you are doing your weekday dual meet, your weekend invitational, then the next week you have another dual meet. Let's say it's Thursday dual meets. Well, then you have a Thursday dual meet, a Saturday invitational, another Thursday dual meet. That's 3 track meets in 1 week. 4 track meets in 10 days. That is not beneficial for your body. It's not going to help you. You're going to get tired and fatigued. And that's why your marks start off really well and then they start to decrease, right? Then let's go with you go to the playoffs, right? Playoff rounds. You might have a track meet this Saturday. You're doing 4 events. Then you have the next Saturday, another 4 events. You're still doing 8 events in those weekends. Again, it's a lot of reps for your body. Okay. I do understand running the relays is fun. However, you want to make sure that when you do choose the relays, you're understanding what you're committing to and what the requirements are for that. Because now you got to practice handoffs. Now you got to work chemistry with your team. If you're working the speed, working the relay team, you're going to have to also enhance your speed training, which is another day of training. All these elements fall into play. If you need more support, because now I've said so much, say you're getting confused, make sure you message me info@keinanbriggs.com and tell me your story, or you can put that below in the box. But what I will say is when you're choosing your events, make sure you choose wisely. Make sure you break down what you're saying yes to, understand what the commitment is, and then see if this can actually play out by putting a calendar down, color coordinating it and saying, here are the days we practice with this group, with that group. How many coaches will I have if I'm doing multiple events? And how much time is this going to take out of my actual schedule? And on top of that, I hope you're not doing multiple sports at one time as well, too. So, yeah, message me, comment below, and we'll talk to you guys